Rebel volleyball is on.
What a barn burner we have here tonight. Rich leading 16-15, set and match point for the third time. Kendall Staple to serve. Staple down the line. Giles passes up into the net. A Crawford Trump in Randolph service ace.
The 2019 season starts a new chapter of Rich High volleyball as coach Wendy Lamborn takes the reins and leads the Rebels onto the court.
It's stuffed. Epic recreation block of the game by Eliana Brown.
Crank up the volume and join us for Rich Rebel volleyball.
Stacy back corner, perfect spot.
On Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Brown sets high and outside. Hatch hits down the line, back corner, she got it in there. And the Rebels win on a Bear Lake Realty kill from Sydney Hatch.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, the Come On In of Casper, by Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Plains Tire, Evanston Regional Hospital, Cash Honda Yamaha of Cache Valley, and by mylocalradio.com.
The Eagles barely get to it, but it's stuffed. There's your epic recreation block of the game. Sage Tingy read that perfectly.
And now, Rich High volleyball fans.
Wallenstein, a laser that hits the top of the net, rolls over the top and in. A fourth service ace in 5 serves by Allie Wallenstein.
Pull on your lucky socks, set your seat to full recline, and get ready to cheer on your Rebels as we head courtside to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan STEINECKERT.
Good evening, Rebel fans, and welcome to Rebel Volleyball on KDQ. Tonight, the Rebels take on the Manila Mustangs. It's the start of Region 22 play tonight for Rich. Manila already 2-0 in Region 22 play. They beat 2 Region 22 teams, and tonight we get a real test for the Rebels about how they'll do in this season's Region 22 play. First service scheduled for actually about 13 minutes from now, but we got behind schedule. The JV is just starting is just about to close out its second set. So we've got your first serve in about 20 minutes from now. In the meantime, the Town of Randolph pregame show brought to you by the mayor, board members, and town clerk of the Town of Randolph. That's coming up on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home to the rich Rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the rich Rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
In today's world, with so many places to shop and so many options to choose from, sometimes you have to boil it down to one simple question: where do I get treated the best? At Cash Honda Yamaha in Logan, we work hard to make sure every customer knows how much we appreciate them. We love what we do, and we believe in the products we sell. Our goal is to build a lasting friendship with every customer so we can serve you and your family for generations. Visit us today, Cash Honda Yamaha, 3765 US 91, Hyde Park, Utah.
Back at Rich High School for tonight's 1A Region 22 matchup, the Rich Rebels and the Manila Mustangs. And you're tuned into the Town of Randolph pregame show. We've got Rich and Manila coming up. First, though, we take a look at your scene set presented by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. Rebels' last time out was a 3-2 win against Bear Lake. And so Rich improved with that win last night to 3-4 overall. What a win it was for Rich. Got some big-time serves, a few key kills at the end, and Rich had a 14-9 lead in the fifth set. Almost gave that away, but held on for a 15-13 win. And the Rebels beat Bear Lake to improve to 3-4. It was a good win, a great match, and we'll hear from Coach Wendy Lamborn. She agrees. She says that was a great match, and we'll hear from her in just a few minutes on the Stacy's Repair Coaches Show. Manila comes into this at 4-1 overall. Actually 5-1 according to the record on Max Preps. They beat Draper's American Preparatory Academy. They beat Green River. That's Green River, Utah, 3-2. Lost to Providence Hall, a 3A school. Beat American Prep a second time and also beat Mount Vernon and USDB. The Mustangs, in those 5 wins, lost just 3 sets. But then they got swept 3-0 by Providence Hall. So the Mustangs come in at 5-1 overall, 2-0 against region opponents. I don't know if those region matches count as actual, or those matches against region opponents. I don't think those count as region matches. The one against Mount Vernon may, but it was at a tournament there at Manila High School. So Manila, though, looking good. They've started well and graduated a few players from last year. Probably most notably is Aspen Stewart, but they bring back some good experience in Olivia Clegg, Caitlin Mosley, Canell Browning, and others. And Coach Clegg has a lot of good things to say about her team coming into this season. Rebels, again, the last time they took on Manila last year, beat them 3-1 and 3-0. And our Laketown Ledger shows me that in the span of since 2008, which is where my records go back to of Rich versus Manila, the Rebels 21-0 against the Mustangs. We'll see if Rich can keep that going here tonight at Rich High School in Region 22 action. This has been your scene set, brought to you by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear from each of the coaches when we return on the Town of Randolph pregame show on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. In 4-H, we believe young people have the power and influence to improve the world around us. With hands-on learning and education programs, 4-H members pledge their head to clearer thinking, their heart to greater loyalty, their hands to larger service, and their health to better living. To learn more about 4-H in Rich County, stop by our office in the county building in Randolph or give us a call at 435-793-2435. 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by KADQ Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at KADQ Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Go Rich Rebels!
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Welcome to the Wendy Lamborn Coaches Show, presented by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. The Rebels and the Manila Mustangs facing off for the first time this season, but they've played each other plenty of times in the past. Been in the same region for a number of years and played each other plenty of times. Manila Mustangs come in at 5-1. The Rebels at 3-4. I think when you look at the competition, Rich has played better competition, but you never know how matchups will go, and really that's just a guess as to how teams have played against totally different opponents. So far, the Rebel freshman team took on Star Valley, lost the first 2 sets, but then came back and won sets 3, 4, and 5 to win the match. And in the JV match, the Rebels took the first 25-10 and took the second 25-13. Varsity match coming up shortly. And we'll continue on with our Town of Randolph pregame show and hear from the coaches when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Ryan STEINECKERT with Camille Clegg, head coach of the Manila Mustangs. Coach, a pleasure to talk with you today.
Yeah, you too.
How was the trip up from Manila?
It was great. Good drive.
Tell me about last year, how you felt like the season went, not making state, and a rough time in a tough region.
Yeah, last year was really tough. Our region was so hard. I felt like we had some good girls that were talented, but we just couldn't pull it together and get those region wins that we needed.
You graduated a few seniors, but you bring back a few players that contributed big last year. Talk about the gals that you bring back this season.
Yeah, we did. We graduated 4 seniors, and that's always a tough loss. But we do have 4 juniors that are playing for us and 1 senior that came back who have been with us from the beginning, and they're solid. They're playing tough this year.
Do you feel like you're on about the same level? Are you a little bit better with who's come back and how the work they've put in?
I feel like we're probably about the same at this point in the season, but I feel like we can go further this year. A couple of the girls have really surprised me with where they're at and their consistency, and I'm really happy about that.
Consistency is a big deal, right? Because Rich is dealing with that right now on the hitting. The consistency not there yet, but what are you seeing your team do well consistency-wise? What are they doing?
One of my setters has really stepped it up, and she's a rock star. She's been putting up sets, and then one of the hitters has really come on as well, and she's getting really consistent, which we love as a junior. Sometimes you don't even see that till they're a senior, or I don't. But she's putting the ball down, and if we can send it through our setter and a couple of our hitters, we'll be good.
As always, you got to get that good pass first, right? It's a serve-receive game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have 2 girls that pass primarily most of our balls, which is tough if you're hitting corners and stuff. They can't get it all. But last weekend, our serve-receive was excellent with our 2 main passers.
Talk more about last weekend, because you guys have started well. 4-1?
Yes, we're 4-1. So we hosted a tournament at our place, first tournament ever. We did the one team that we lost to was a 2A school, and then we beat 2 2A schools and 1A school that went 5 games, 2.5-hour game, but we battled it out and won. So that was good for us that we had that in us.
What specifically, a couple of things do you need to see your team be better at this year than you were last year to make that next step and make it to state this year?
Defense. They need to all plug in and cover the holes. Sometimes we stand and wait for a couple of all-star players to come take everything, and then it kills you on defense. So we need to trust our team and talk and just come together a little bit tighter.
Do you see that happening this year? Is there more balance, more unity?
Oh, girls are hard. Sometimes we like each other and sometimes we don't. I think that's typical in girls' sports. I tell the team, you can be as good as you want to be. And so it's kind of up to them. They've got it in them. And so I think they really can go as far as they want to. And I've seen it and they've seen it. And I think we've seen those sparks earlier in this season to hopefully we can keep playing well and keep our record good and go far.
It feels like an early start to region play, but I guess that's how we do it in volleyball. Coach, thanks for your time. Anything else you want to touch on?
Nope, that's it. Thanks, Ryan.
Camille Clegg, good luck tonight with Rich and throughout the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Clegg. Always a pleasure to talk with Camille Clegg of the Manila Mustangs. This is the Wendy Lamborn Coaches Show, brought to you by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. We're about 10, maybe 15 minutes away from opening serve of today's match, and when we return, we'll talk with the Rebel head coach, Wendy Lamborn, hear a little bit more about her thoughts on last night's 3-2 win over the Bear Lake Bears right here at Rich High School. Rich tonight hosting the Manila Mustangs in the opening of Region 22 play. We'll be back with Coach Wendy Lamborn on the Town of Randolph pregame show right after this here on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, are proud to support the Rich High Rebels in creating their own path and leaving a trail of success in athletics and in activities, in education and in life. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
Ryan STEINECKERT with Wendy Lamborn, head coach of the Rich Rebel volleyball team. Coach, quite a win yesterday and a great match with Bear Lake.
It was a great match with Bear Lake. I am so glad that we pulled out the win. Super proud of the girls. They didn't give up. They just kept believing and kept going. And I was a little nervous when it was 9-14. We only need to score 1 point, and we seemed to want to let them crawl back. But it was a great win.
They almost crawled back. You got that big kill right at the end to finish it off, though.
We did. And stuck in. Annie Peart came in big with 4 aces right in a row to pull us up there. So she played well.
Coach, I want to get into this a little bit more. Bear Lake brought back all 6 of their starters from a year ago. You guys, we've talked about who graduated, Taya Peterson, and a couple others that moved away, a few others. So the improvement is there from you guys. Is that how you see it, that you've improved maybe a little bit more than they have, or how does that figure out?
We lost one senior last year, and I think that these guys had to step up and use their heads and play. Them playing last year, I think, helped to be able to battle against Bear Lake last night.
I noticed some adjustments throughout the match. Early on, Chelsea Gunnarsson, and we saw her swing away. She's got a very strong hit, and at times she would tip it over your block, but you guys were able to just on the fly and counter that short tip that she was trying to do that she scored with early. She didn't score later on.
Our biggest thing going into that game yesterday was to make sure that we served tough, and we had 19 missed serves, but we had 16 aces. I do think that our serving threw off the Gunderson girl. They were passing right behind her, so the set was right behind her. So it was keeping the ball away from her, which I think helped us a lot.
So your serve, you gain benefits out of a strong serve more than just aces or causing service errors. That's a big issue or a big deal.
We have to have serving be our first attack. We are still working on our attacks. We were 3 for 170 last night. So our hitting is not there yet, obviously. So serving has to be our first attack. But it is good because you've got to be a good passing team to beat our serves.
Manila is a team that you maybe not sure what you're going to get out of them. They graduated 3 or 4 seniors, but you know some of the players coming back, Olivia Clegg and others. What are your expectations with the Mustangs?
You know, they've got a new coach. She's done lots of good things with them. It's good to see them coming on and being competitive. So I expect a win, but it's not going to just be handed to us.
Is there any concern as far as the mental state of your girls, knowing, okay, we just played a very good, high-emotion game with Bear Lake, and maybe a little bit of a letdown, thinking that Manila's not as tough?
I'm hopefully not going to let that happen. I do not want that to happen. I usually have a little speech with them right before, and that I hope does not happen. I can't guarantee, but that is what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
The hope, obviously, there that they recognize the importance of your first region game.
You know, they just need to realize that sometimes these games, even though they're region games, they're counter games. This is what matters, and they need to realize that it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You just play the game of volleyball the best we can play. That's what we're working on.
Coach, anything else you want to touch on?
I don't. Thanks.
Wendy Lamborn, thanks so much for your time. Good luck tonight with Manila.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach Lamborn. We're just a few minutes away from the start of today's match. Our Coach's Show has been brought to you by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the Town of Randolph pregame show after this on Rich Rebel Volleyball on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. I perform total hip, total knee, and total shoulder replacement. The huge majority of patients of mine that have undergone total joint replacement have been dealing with pain and disability for many years. After joint replacement and recovery, patients are back to doing the activities that they want to do.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Welcome back to Rich High School and Rebel Volleyball here on KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com. The Rebels tonight open Region 22 play, hosting the Manila Mustangs. And you've been tuned into the Town of Randolph pregame show. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're good there. Town of Randolph pregame show. And let's move along to the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the Mayor and Town Council of Laketown. Rebels have faced off against Manila a couple of times every year, being in the same region for at least the last 10 or 12 years. My records of Rich versus Manila only go back to the 2008 season, and during that time, the Rebels have not lost to Manila, 21-0 against the Mustangs, and all of those matches, except one, have been 3-0 sweeps at the hands of the Rebels, or by the Rebels. Last year, Manila took a set from Rich, and again, my records on the Laketown Ledger indicate that's the only set that Manila has taken from Rich since 2008. Rich is 21-0 against this Manila Mustangs team. Now, having said that, Manila, if we look back a little bit more at them and what they did last season, a 9-13 year, they went 0-6 in the region. And consider that those 6 losses were against ICS, which won the region. Rich, which took second, and Tabiona, who took third. And all three of those teams, ICS, Rich, and Tabiona, finished in the top 8, with ICS third, Rich fourth, and Tabiona finishing sixth place. They won that final match of the state tournament in the 6th and 8th place game match. So Tabiona, Rich, and ICS all finished in the top 6 at last year's state tournament. That puts Manila in a tough spot where they just didn't win any region matches last year. Now consider that Manila graduated a few of its key players. Most specifically, or most primarily, would be Aspen Collett, who was a major contributor to that team last year. And there were others, 3 other seniors who graduated from this Manila Mustangs team, but Collett's the one that most readily comes to mind, a big part because of her height and length, and she was a big force at the net. But this Mustangs team brings back some good experience in Olivia Clegg, who's been starting since she was a freshman. Cannell Browning, who's was a contributor last year, a good athlete on the volleyball court. Caitlin Mosley, I said volleyball, on the basketball court, Cannell Browning. And then also contributing Sage Walters, Cheyenne Brown, a sophomore this year, Andrea Lucio. And so this is a Mustang team that, as we heard from Coach Clegg, may not rely quite as much on the 1 or 2 stars on the team, but maybe a little more united, a little more of a cohesive unit. And that's an important thing with any team, and especially with games like volleyball, football, and basketball. You've got to have that teamwork. Players moving without the ball, players setting each other up, trusting each other, and Coach Clegg thinks that when this team is at its best, they're a better team this year than they were last year in that regard. And so that'll be important tonight for the Manila Mustangs. Now, I've talked in past seasons with coaches from Manila, from Tabiona, Coach Tanji Lazenby and Coach Camille Clegg, who've said that part of the battle for their teams is just knowing not necessarily the individual players that are across the court, but just the colors or the name on the front of the jersey. In this case, for the Rich Rebels, the Rebels is on the back, on the shoulders of the jersey. And so what that comes down to is, as I mentioned in the Laketown Ledger, Rebels 21-0 against Manila over the course of the last 12 years. And so what that looks like for the Manila Mustangs is we've never beat Rich. We can't beat Rich, maybe psychologically. And now that may change. It will change at some point. That's inevitable. Last season in basketball, this Mustang group, and they had a few others that aren't here tonight, but this core group of Mustangs had a lead on Rich at Manila in the basketball game. Rich came from behind and ended up winning in overtime, but that may have been something. It may have provided a spark for Manila to realize we can beat this Rich Rebel team. Now, it's a different sport. It's a new year. It's a new season. It's a new school year. So things change and players develop. Players have improved. We saw that improvement last night from the Rebels, who faced a Bear Lake team that had not graduated a single starter from a year ago and that swept Rich 3-0 at Bear Lake a year ago. And Rich turned around and beat them last night 3-2. So we'll see how things go here tonight as the Rebels host the Manila Mustangs. This is a long explanation on your Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the Mayor and Town Council of Laketown. We'll give you a little bit more on the Christopher Staple starting lineups, brought to you by the Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels the best. But we can tell you for the Manila Mustangs, Olivia Clegg, a junior, Chandra Brady, a junior, also a junior, Cannell Browning, and Caitlin Mosley, the setter. Senior Sage Walters, the lone senior on the team. She's number 20. Libero is number 20. I think 24 is her Libero jersey number, and that's sophomore Andrea Lucio. And a secondary setter, Cheyenne Brown. I asked Coach Clegg, so are you playing a 6-2? Because she gave me the 2 setters. She said, well, kind of. It's more of a mix between a 5-1 and a 6-2, and just a little bit simplified explanation of that. With a 6-2, essentially you've got 6 players on the court, and 2 of those can set at any time. In a 5-1, generally you have one setter that sets every ball unless she just simply cannot get to it. So the 6-2 5-1 run by the Mustangs may be more of a situation, and from what I understood from Coach Clegg, Caitlin Mosley is the primary setter, and at times Cheyenne Brown will set as well. As a kind of a secondary setter is how I understood it from Coach Clegg. Maybe a little unconventional, but if it works for the Mustangs, go a little unconventional and do what works for your team and the players you have. Rich and Manila coming up. That starting lineup for Manila was brought to you by Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels the best. Rebels will start likely Kendall Staple, J.C. Cornea, Eliana Brown, Sydney Hatch, McKenna Stacy, and Allie Wallentyne with Sage Tingy as the libero. And we saw in the opening weekend a lot of shuffling in and out of players and a lot of substitutions and Coach Lamborn's trying to find that balance, one of keeping players happy, and maybe that's a lower concern on the totem pole of care for Coach Lamborn, keeping players happy. I mean, that's something she definitely has to consider. But having the best team out on the floor at all times, and she seemed to have found a pretty good balance of that last night with Taylor McKee coming in, getting some great digs. Annie Peart at times up on the front row as an outside hitter or a middle hitter. Mackenzie Smith serving at times, and Brittany Lamborn coming in for spells to be the outside hitter and a server. And we have Eliana Brown, and I talked about Manila's 6'2/5'1 hybrid rotation on offense. The Rebels kind of have the ability to do the same thing with J.C. Cornea as the lead setter, and she leads the team by far in sets. Has 200 sets or assists on the season, and so she is without a doubt the primary setter in a 5-1 that the Rebels run. But Eliana Brown, who competed last year with J.C. Cornea in that setter spot, also has the ability to be a very good setter, and she's got 12 assists this season as well. So your options are open there for Rich. If Cornea has to dig a ball, then Brown can be your setter. If Brown, otherwise Cornea is the primary setter. Those are your starting lineups. We'll get back to that in a bit more detail here in a bit. Brought to you by Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels the best. We're 20 seconds away from the pregame warm-ups finishing up. I'll recap again in the freshman match. Rich hosted Star Valley Manila without a freshman team, so Star Valley came down and gave the Rebels a matchup for the night. And Star Valley won the first two sets very close, 27-26 and 25-23. But then Rich took the third, fourth, and fifth sets, 15-12, 15-13, 17-15. 5 close sets, but the Rebel freshman won. In the JV match, no trouble for Rich, 25-10, 25-13, and 15-8 were the final scores in that JV match as Rich swept 3 games to none. Rebels had their season's home opener last night, a 3-2 win over Bear Lake. And Rich hosts Manila tonight in Region 22 plays season home opener. Some good games in 2A football tonight. Rebels have a bye. We'll tell you more about that when we return.
This is Rich Rebels Senior Sydney Hatch with live coverage of Rich High volleyball action on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
My name is Dr. Micah Pullins. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Evanston Regional Hospital. Orthopedic surgery is the practice of medicine centered around bones and joints. It's all about movement and activity and getting that to be less painful. Watching a patient with a specific problem, whether that's pain or decreased range of motion, and being able to treat them, by far the best part of my job.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Oh, you've been tuned in to the Town of Randolph pregame show. And let's recap your Christopher Staple family starting lineups. Number 1, a junior, Olivia Clegg. Number 3, a junior, Chandra Brady. Number 5, a junior, Cannell Browning. And a junior, number 7, the setter, Caitlin Mose. Senior number 20 will serve as a libero, but not for tonight. And your Rich Rebels starters. Number 2, McKenna Stacy, a junior. Number 10, libero Sage Tingy, also starting for your Rebels. Allie Wallenstein, a senior, number 5. Number 6, a senior, Kendall Staple, a junior. Number 32, J.C. Cornea, a senior. Number 35, Eliana Brown, and senior number 45, Sydney Hatch. Your starting lineup for the Rich Rebels, again brought to you by the Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels the best. Again, just a quick recap of your Rich County 4-H scene set, which we covered earlier in the pregame show. Manila comes in at 5-1 overall. And most recently, a 3-0 win over USDB. The Rebels at 3-4 overall. Most recently, a 3-2 win over Bear Lake last night here at Rich High School. An emotional victory for the Rebels last night. 5 close sets. In fact, the biggest win was Rich won 25-18 in the third set. Every other set was 2-3 points just about. The Bears won the first set by 3, then they won by 2, and then Rich won the final set by just 2 points. So a close, emotional, and exciting rivalry match last night as Rich beat Bear Lake. Rebels, of course, as with any team, the serve-receive will be key tonight. Coach Lamborn mentioned to me that hitting last night, she said somewhere in the ballpark of like 4 for 103. And that's referring to hits that come off the hitter's hand and find the floor without a deflection, without a hitting error or anything along those lines. And that's got to be better. Quite frankly, probably not tonight. If the Rebels, I mean, they want to be better than that tonight, but they don't necessarily need to be better than that tonight to get the win, I believe, against this Manila Mustang squad. But looking forward, if Rich wants to beat ICS, they'll definitely have to be better than that. If they want to beat a Panguitch later on in the season, maybe even a Tabiona, they'll have to be better than that. Okay. And certainly they're going to want to be better than that tonight. As we have your Town & Country Realty opening serve, delivered by Sydney Hatch. The Mustangs pass it over. Brown digs, Cornea high and outside. Stacy hits back line. Lunging dig by Clegg. She gets the set, hits it long and out, and Rich takes a 1-0 lead to start this first set, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Sydney Hatch to serve again, leads the team with 100, and we'll get that number for you here in a second. Clegg pushes to Wallenstein. Allie, good pass up front. Cornea in the middle for Stacy, who loops it to the back corner just a bit long. Hatch first on the team with 139 service aces. Cannell Browning serving for the Mustangs, attacking left to right at mylocalradio.com. Tingy receives it. Nice pass set up for Stacy. Hit through the block and dug up by Brown. Pass back into the middle. Clegg passes it over the net. Wallenstein, good pass up front. Cornea high and outside. Stacy crushes it. Was it deflected? No. Stacy just hit it long and out. And Manila leads 2-1 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Browning with the right hand, standing, slaps, serves it across. Tingy passes, set up in the middle. Staple hits, it's deflected by the block. The set too high. Olivia Clegg tried to go up and get it, couldn't get high enough, and we're tied up at 2. Running our camera here tonight, Gary McKee of Bear Lake Realty. He is the expert for Bear Lake Home and Investment. 3-2. Rebels, a Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace by J.C. Cornea. Cornea to serve again. Rebels wearing the long sleeve blues, white numbers. Received, not a good pass by Walters. Manila keeps it alive and passes over. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. Big hit. Deflected by the block over toward the Rebel student section for a Bear Lake Realty kill. Rich leads 4-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This first set brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. JC serves on the back line. A second Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace puts the Rebels up 5-2. JC second on the team with 107 service aces, including the 2 we just had. Cornea serves again. This one long, but Browning plays it. It might have been in. She was right near that back line. Mustangs pop it high and pass it over. Cornea high and outside. Stacy coming in hot, hits hard into the net, 5-3. A little bit too low on the attack by McKenna Stacy. Rebels, Tingy, Wallenstein, and Stacy set to receive this serve from Caitlin Mosley of Manila. Received by Stacy. Cornea goes high and outside to McKenna, hits it and drops it in on the back line. Got it past the block and to the right of a diving McKennell Browning, 6-3, after that Bear Lake Realty kill by McKenna Stacy. Stacy drops back to serve, running jump serve, and drops in a Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace for Stacy. That's already 3 service aces. Rebels had 16 aces last night compared with 19 errors, but as Stacy serves, we'll explain a bit more here in a second. Clegg receives, Brown passes high, set up and a hit by Clegg in off the block, and on the Rebels side, 7-4 after that side out from Manila. Chandra Brady serves, a high rainbow serve to the back line. Good pass by Staple. Cornea high and outside to Wallenstein. Tipped it off of Clegg's hands and out of bounds. 8-4 after that Bear Lake Realty kill from Allie Wallenstein. So the serve last night, 16 aces. It also produced a lot of poor passes from Bear Lake, and they so often just could not get a good set because of the poor pass, and that almost neutralized Gunderson so often throughout the match. What a pass by Clegg to keep it inbounds and over the net. Rebels pass it over. Mustangs, Clegg hits it. Rebels with an epic recreation block, and the Mustangs dig and pass it back over. Brown sets in the middle. Hatch, big hit, blocked by Clegg. Rebels keep it alive and tip it over. Clegg back near the 10-foot line, hits through the block. Staple lunges out and digs it into the bleachers. 8-5. Mustangs within 3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. So we talk a lot about service aces and what kind of and the points that produces or those produce, but so often a serve can serve so much more. Stacy receives the running jump serve from Olivia Clegg, but the Rebels' roll attack attempt is low and into the net. 8-6. Mustangs within 2. Clegg serving for the Mustangs, attacking left to right. If you're watching online at mylocalradio.com, Clegg's serve is long and out, 9-6 following the service error. I believe that's our first service error of this Rolene Kennedy's first set. Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Ellie Brown serves. Received by Brady. They pass it on the back line. Not a great pass, so they just pass it over. Cornea dump set, tipped right back. Nice heads up by Sage Walters. Rebels barely dig and slap it across. Brown dump sets. Staple receives. Good pass, high and outside. They set for Wallenstein. Cross court just wide and out. Whew, just barely. From this angle, it looked in, but the line judge right on top of it. That was at her feet. She had a great angle and clearly called it out. Brown serves, another high rainbow serve. Easy pass for Brown. Rebels set it up, and Hatch again hits into the net, just off on her timing. Maybe wanting a little bit higher set. Maybe just getting up a little late. Brown to serve again as the Mustangs look to tie. Rainbow serve, Brown, good pass. That was Cheyenne Brown to Eliana Brown. Wallenstein hits to the back corner again, this time a little bit further outside, and we're tied at 9. Rebels struggling to get the kill. Cheyenne Brown, the sophomore, serves, just clears the net. Ellie Brown digs on the serve receive. Wallenstein slaps it across. High and outside, Mosley sets, hit cross court, Staple digs. High and outside to Wallenstein. Big dig by Brady. Back line, Brown passes. Clegg from the back row hits hard. Good attack. Brown digs and Hatch touches it across with 2 hands into the hole. 10-9. A Bear Lake Realty kill softly for Sydney Hatch. And Wallenstein to serve for Rich, right to left at mylocalradio.com. Allie's serve, received by Clegg. High and outside, they go to Walters. Rebel block is there, but the dig near the net, and they can't get it over on the third touch. Point to the Mustangs. That ties it back up at 10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Mustangs hanging in early on. Sage Walters, we're in the first set, and Walters serves for Manila. Stacy turns at the last second. Good pass up front, but the Rebels don't get a great set and pass it over, but they find a middle hole of the defense. A poor pass from Browning puts Rich back up by 1, 11-10. Back around in the rotation. This is where we started. Sydney Hatch serving for Rich. Strong serve, back line, deflected. I thought it was out, but it was deflected for a Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace for Sydney Hatch. That puts her total set ace number at 140 in just the 7th match of the season. Barely passed over, kept alive by the Mustangs. Rebels, Kendall Staple pushes to the back corner, right on the line. Perfect spot by Kendall Staple for the Bear Lake Realty kill. Maybe a candidate for your precision play of the game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankham, Dental Services in Evanston. Mustangs scramble a bit and pass it over. Rebels go high and outside. Stacy crushes it cross court. Clegg digs to one of her coaches, Travis Dupai, on the bench. And the Rebels lead 14-10 after another Bear Lake Realty kill. Hatch delivers the serve right to left. Boy, what a strong serve. I don't know how you do anything with that. Mustangs don't do much, but they do keep it alive and pass it over. Cornea in the middle, a medium set and Staple with the lefty. The southpaw cracks it to the back corner. Another Bear Lake Realty kill has the Rebels up 15-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. The Station on Main, how convenient. They've got the coldest drinks in town, delicious fried chicken and other great deli foods, plus so much more at the Station on Main. Hatch serves again. Good strong serve. Better pass this time. Mosley passes high and Clegg slaps it over. Rebels dig. Nice dig by Ellie Brown. Staple again goes to that back corner. This time Clegg moves over and gets there for the dig. She'll slap again from the back line. Hatch, good pass up front to Cornea. Stacy crushes it through the block, deflected out of bounds. Bear Lake Realty kill puts Rich up 16-10. It's a 6-0 Rebel run. And Coach Clegg takes a timeout. We'll take one quickly as well, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff.
This is Rich Rebels Senior Sydney Hatch with live coverage of Rich High volleyball action on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
In Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
16-10, Manila was hanging in early, but the Rebels have pulled away over the last few minutes. A 6-0 run, including a pair of kills by Kendall Staple and a service ace from Sydney Hatch, looking for another one, but it's passed high. Browning touches it, and the third touch hits the net. 17-10, Rebels lead. It's a 7-0 run. Mustangs had tied it at 10. Hatch serves a bit low, but that just about took out the net. 17-11, Hatch with a lot of power on that service, and Rich leads 17-11. Cannell Browning serving, the junior with the right hand for the Mustangs, and serves long and out. Good eye by the Rebels. Great awareness to let that one go by. Service error puts Rich up by 7 in this first set. Brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Cornea serves, received by Walters. They pass it high and in the middle, set for Clegg. Her hit just long. Oof. Even better awareness. That one just missed that back line. Great eye by Rich to let it go by. And Cornea serves again for the Rebels. Clegg passes up front, pushed over a dump set. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. Tapped into the fingertips of the block. Mosley passes outside. Clegg hits hard. Tingy with a nice Low comprehensive family dental dig. Sets up Stacy down the line. Bear Lake Realty kill. And Rich leads 20-11. Cornea to serve again for the Rebels. In their blue uniforms with black down the shoulders. Clegg receives out of bounds. Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace makes it 21-11 Rich. White numerals and black shorts. Mustangs similar, black shorts, black lines down the shoulders and down the arms, but red jerseys with white numerals. An overpass, Stacy goes up, tips it down, 22-11. That may count as another Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace. If it does for JC, that would be her 4th of this first set alone. Clegg, good pass. Mosley high and outside to Clegg. Hit, dug by Tingy after it was blocked, and the Rebels pass it over. Nice comprehensive family dental dig by Sage Tingy. Tipped up, nice attack by Olivia Clegg. Rebels had 3 blockers right in the middle, just like they did most of the night last night against Chelsea Gunderson. And Clegg used her awareness to just touch it to the corner. No Rebel could get it. Tingy receives. Cornea high and in the middle. Staple back corner. Perfect spot. Kendall Staple. She had gone to her right. This time she goes to her left and drops it in. A Bear Lake Realty kill for Kendall Staple. 23-12. Rich within 2 of a first set victory. McKenna Stacy running jump serve. Clegg's pass stays in the air. Browning, and then Clegg passes it over. Cornea, good pass. High and outside. Brown with the set. Wallenstein tips it across. Barely dug up. Alley back to the corner. And Manila able to dig. Clegg slaps it over. Tingy digs. Cornea high and outside again for AWOL. Crushes it back corner for the Bear Lake Realty kill. Hammers it down. And the Rebels have a set point, 24-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stacy runs, serves, hits the top of the net, drops to the floor for a Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace. And Rich takes the first set, 25-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. No trouble. After it was tied at 10, the Rebels outscored the Mustangs 15-2 the rest of the way for the first set victory. Brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Kendall Staple. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High Volleyball on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocal.radio.com.
If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Manila Mustangs have your Town & Country Realty first serve to start our second set. Rebels set it up, and Allie Wallenstein crushes it down the line. A Bear Lake Realty kill puts the Rebels up 1-0. And this second set is brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Sabie, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson with Secretary Lisa Bell. Wallenstein serves. Browning receives. Clegg passes high. Walters over the net. Wallenstein from the back line. Great pass. Set it up high and outside for Stacy. Stuffed. But the Rebels dig it and keep it alive. Hatch touches it across. Brown is there for Manila. In the middle. Set it up for Olivia Clegg. And Rich blocks it. An epic recreation block here in this second set. Mustangs push it back to the Rebels. They set it up, and Hatch hits. Dug by Browning. One-handed dig by Brown. And Clegg passes it over, but out. No, that was actually Brady who passed it over and out for Manila. And Rich leads 2-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wallenstein. Running jump serve. Clegg, good pass, high and in the middle. Walters sets for Clegg. Epic recreation block, and Brown can't get underneath it for the Mustangs. It's on the floor. A Bear Lake Realty, I guess it's not a Bear Lake Realty kill, but an epic recreation block. Either way, the Rebels get the point and lead 3-0. Wallenstein running jump serve again. Backline Clegg. Again, a high pass. Walters travels, gets it to Clegg. Touched outside. And a bit too far outside, just a little outside. 4-0 Rebels lead. Allie Wallenstein started the serving for Rich after Manila had the Town and Country Realty first serve. Passed up into the net, and a Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace for AWOL. 5-0. Rebels lead on a 5-0 run to start set number 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Wallenstein, ace! I think Walters thought Brown would get it. Brown thought Walters would get it. 6-0, Rebels lead. And Coach Clegg calls a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Sports on
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabie and council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson with Secretary Lisa Bell welcome you and say,
Go Ridge Rebels!
Mustangs taking every last second of this timeout to discuss things, try to fix things. And body language for Manila, I think that's one thing that they can fix quickly. It's a change of attitude a little bit as they look a little bit defeated. Clegg receives. She's set up and hits high to the back corner and long. 7-0. Rebels lead. Wallenstein. Again serving left to right for the Rebels here in this second set, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Set away from the net. Clegg backs up and touches it over with two hands. Cordia back set, and Hatch hits it hard. Nice dig by Walters. Brown passes it over. Staple digs for the Rebels. High and outside, they go to Stacy. Walters, another dig, this time into the bleachers, out of play. 8-0, Bear Lake Realty kill for McKenna Stacy. And the Rebels lead big on an 8-0 run to start this second set. Rebels have outscored the Mustangs 23-2, including set 1 when it was tied 10-10. Serve receive is an overpass by Manila. Staple passes. Cornea sets high and in the middle. Hatch crushes it down. Plus a Mustang was in the net. It takes away a Bear Lake Realty kill, but Rich still gets the point and leads 9-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Allie Wallenstein again to serve. Maywall goes back line. Clegg's pass high up off the ceiling. Walters pushes it across after Mosley set it. Rebels go high and in the middle. Hatch is stuffed. Big block by Olivia Clegg of the Mustangs for their first point of the set. 9-1. The Rebels started that this second set. Mosley serves a high rainbow. Eliana Brown receives. Rich sets it up to Stacy in the middle. And between Mosley, Walters, and I think Browning was the third player right there, that all three of them thought the other would get it, or thought one of the others would get it. Hatch serves. Not a great pass, but the Mustangs keep it alive. Clegg touches it over into a Rebel hole of the defense. Brown hesitated for a moment because Cornea was right there. Cornea, the Rebel setter, playing to get ready for the set rather than to try and dig that ball. Taylor McKee checks into the ball game. 10-2, Rebels lead in set number 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Chandra Brady serving with the right hand for Manila. High, long serve. McKee passes, nice pass, high and outside. The Rebels go to Stacy, touched down the line of the net. Good dig by Walters. She'll tip it across. Rebels barely keep it alive and pass it over. Mustangs again for Walters. Push to the far side of the court. Too long and out. 11-2. The Rebel lead climbs to 9. Allie Brown to check back in. Taylor McKee and the Rebel JV team beat the Mustangs in 3 straight. 25-10, 25-13, 25-8. Cornea serves for Rich, an overpass. Easy, happy birthday. Kendall Staple goes up with a Bear Lake Realty kill and knocks it down. 12-2, Rebels lead by 10. Cornea set and serves again. Clegg passes way outside, set back up into the middle. Clegg, nice touch attack, Rebels dig. JC Cornea, they set it up outside for Stacy out on the left. Manila digs it up, set for Walters, big, good hit. Stacy a little trouble dealing with it, but they keep it in the air and pass it over. Mustangs get Brown to pass it high and on the back line. Pushed over by Mosley, but a double touch on that two-handed push attack puts Rich up 13-2. You can tell by the way that ball came off her hands with a heavy spin around toward the left side. Clegg receives, Brown passes high. Clegg slaps it, roll attack. Almost works. Wallentine overpass on the dig. Diving comprehensive family dental dig by Staple. And then Stacy hits it through the block to the floor, 14-2. Another Bear Lake Realty kill for McKenna Stacy. So Rich leads 14-2. Looking for a three-set sweep here. Got to keep taking care of business here in this town of Woodruff second set. Cornea to Clegg on the serve receive. Brown high and outside. Walters touches it past the block. Cornea right there. Perfect spot. She's right where she's supposed to be. In the middle, a medium set, a number 2 set for Staple, and she pushes it past the defense to the floor. Another Bear Lake Realty kill for Kendall Staple. And the southpaw puts Rich up 15-2. Cornea serves again, up off the ceiling on the receive by Brady. Mustangs keep it alive and pass it over. Tingy, perfect pass. High and outside, the Rebels go to Stacy. Hit to the back line, Clegg digs. Brown and then to Clegg, and blocked on the Rebel side of the floor. Point to the Mustangs. And it was actually not Clegg that dug. I think it was Brady who dug. Clegg will serve. Running jump serve. She's got a strong service, a little too strong. Long and out. 16-3 rather, following that service ace. The Rebels, knock on wood, had 0 service errors in the first set. Lead 16-3 here in the second and have 0 service errors, but another service ace brought to you by the Crawford Trough in Randolph. 17-3, Rich leads in set number 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Mustangs had it close in the first set. We were tied at 10, but then the Rebels outscored them 15-2 the rest of the way. Another Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace from McKenna Stacy. 18-3, Rich leads. Since it was tied 10-10, the Rebels have outscored Manila 15 plus 18, 33-5. Tingy receives after Manila had set up its attack. Cornea's pass right at the net. Walters swings and misses, and then it comes down on the Manila side of the net to the floor. She couldn't get it a second time. 19-3, Rebels lead. Stacy serving for Rich. Running jump serve for McKenna, and another a Crawford Trough in Randolph service ace for Stacy. That one received to the back wall. No chance to play it off the wall. Stacy serves again. Clegg, good pass. Brown set to the back line. Clegg slaps it over. Tingy digs. Cornea, a back set for Brown. Eliana slaps it to the back line. Clegg digs that. Browning, and then Walters passes it over. Lunging dig by Stacy. Rebels set it up. Awal slaps it to the middle of the court. Mosley digs it up, sets, hits. Browning is stuffed. Epic Recreation block by Ellie Brown, the leader on this Rebel team in blocks. 21-3. Rich with a big lead. Stacy serve, top of the net, over and in. Another Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. McKenna Stacy and the Rebels on a big-time run of 7-0. Stacy has served 4 aces during that span, almost a fifth. But Clegg lunges out and keeps it alive. Walters to the back line. Stacy passes high. Cornea set in the middle. Staple crushes it. Clegg digs high and in the middle. Walters back line by Clegg. Hit. Stacy digs. Rebels set high and outside for Walentine. Roll attack. Cross court. Drops in right on the line in front of the Rebel. 23-3. Rich has run away with set 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Stacy looking to close things out, and she's one step closer as Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. It's her 5th ace as part of this 9-0 Rebel run. Stacy to serve again. And McKenna delivers. Clegg digs, or serves, receives the serve. It's set up, touched over by Browning, up at the net, touchdown, overpass back to Rich. Cornea back set, Brown hits, dug, passed over. Stacy digs high and outside. The Rebels go to Allie Walentine, deflected by the block and dug by Clegg. Brown tips at the net, and Rebels touch it back. Mustangs pass it over the net. Back corner, Tingy can't quite handle it. 24-4. The Mustangs stay alive for the moment. Rebels took the first set 25-12, and they've dominated this second set 24-4. Cheyenne Brown serves. Kendall receives. That was Staple. Rich sets it up on the right side. Brown hits. Diving one-handed dig by Clegg at the net. Drops to the floor, and the Rebels win 25-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This second set has been presented by the town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Sabie, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
At beautiful Bear Lake, skiing, snowmobiling, sailing, and swimming are just some of the fun activities offered to recreationists. The Greater Bear Lake Valley offers prime hunting and fishing areas, whether it's trout fishing in the streams or ice fishing for Cisco on the lake, hunting deer or seeking elk along the high mountain ridges. The scenic corner of Utah and Idaho offers outdoor recreation and historical interests away from crowds and high prices. Visit bearlake.org for more information.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Allie Wallenstein with the Town & Country Realty first serve of set number 3. And the Mustangs put together a nice attack and take the lead. That's their first lead since 2-1 in the first set. In fact, we were tied at 10 in that first set. And since that point, the Rebels had outscored the Mustangs 40-6, including that 25-4 win in set number 2. This is set 3, brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels set up a nice attack and get a Bear Lake Realty kill out of it. We're tied at 1. Sydney Hatch to serve for the Rebels. A couple of aces so far in this match. And there's another one. Crawford Truff and Randolph service ace. The receive, the pass shanked off to the down official. He nonchalantly catches the ball with one hand and tosses it back to Hatch for the service. Back line, Clegg can't handle it. Another Crawford Truff and Randolph service ace for Sydney Hatch. Takes her total to above 150 service ace, or close to 150 aces this season. She averages 1 ace per set. That's probably going to go up after today. Mustangs set it up, hit it over. Rebels set it up, and Stacy hits it down the line. Diving dig by Brady. Rebels set high and outside. Stacy tips it. Walters Mosley a diving dig, but 2 touches on the set gives Rich a 4-1 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hatch serves again. Browning receives. They tap it over. Brown with a nice set for Rich, or nice pass, and Staple hits it right at Browning, who can't adjust her hands quickly enough. She hits it down to the floor on her first touch. Another Bear Lake Realty kill for Rich. Sydney Hatch serving for the Rebels. Back line passed high by Brady. Browning touches and Clegg passes over. Hatch up front, looks for Cornea. Stacy sets. Stacy's hit stuffed of Olivia Clegg, the junior, with a big block to give the Mustangs the point, and Rich's lead is at 3, 5-2. Olivia Clegg to serve for the Mustangs. Rich leading 2 games to none. And Clegg serve a bit low into the net. For the Mustangs, they've been pretty good on the service to avoid errors. That's just their 3rd service error of the match. But knock on wood, Rich has yet to commit a service error, unless I missed one. And the Rebels have 14 service aces. Rebels set it up, and Stacy's hit a bit low and into the net. 6-3. Is that Ambria Lutz? I'm going to check my roster here. No, Dixie Huffaker into the match for Rich. Cornea pushes to the back corner. Passed and hit across. Rebels dig, set in the middle. Lutz hits cross court and drops it in. Bear Lake Realty kill for, I said Lutz again, it was Huffaker. Dixie Huffaker, the sophomore. McKenna Stacy serving for the Rebels. Goes back line. Cheyenne Brown at the last second. Deflects it over and out. Another Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. That's 17 aces for Rich in the match. Rebels lead 8-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels attacking right to left. Clegg receives. Mosley passes high, but not a good set. And nobody else could get to it. 9-3. Rich pushing back out. Set 3 is brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. Stacy's serve long and out. 9-4. I believe that's your first service error of the match for the Rebels. Sage Walters, a lone senior on this Mustang team, serving left to right. Tingy receives. Good pass. Cornea high and outside. Wallenstein hits cross court to the left of Cheyenne Brown. She couldn't quite get a hand on it. 10-4. Bear Lake Realty kill from Allie Wallenton. Dixie Huffaker heads back for the bench as Kendall Staple checks in to serve. Good appearance by Huffaker. She laughs with some kind of giddiness, excitement at her performance today. Coming in. Overpass on the serve receive and up at the net. Brown tips it over. The Mustangs got into the net, giving Rich the 11-4 lead. Looks like Peart and Lamborn set to check back in. Serve receive out of play, 12-4. Another Crawford Trough and Randolph ace for the Rebels. That was Kendall Staple this time. Staple passes, the pass up front by Sage Walters is at the net. Another Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. That's got to be approaching some kind of a record. That's close to 20 aces in this match. Make it 21 as Staples' serve is not returned except to the down official. Staple with another serve. Brown with a decent pass. Clegg lunges out. No, that was Brady with a pass and then pushed over. Cornea back set for Brown. Hit to Brown. Eliana to Cheyenne. Clegg pushes down the line. Cornea is there for the dig. Brown high and outside to Wallenton. Cheyenne Brown digs high for the Mustangs. Set to the back line. Clegg, big, strong attack from the back line. Up at the net, Ellie Brown on a 50-50 tips it down. A Bear Lake Realty kill for Eliana. And Rich pushes the lead out 15-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Staple serves again. Overpass on the reception. Cornea high and back right side. Eliana touches it into the hole. 16-4. Brown with consecutive Bear Lake Realty kills with touch hits. 16-4, the Rebels lead big in set number 3, and the serve hits the net, just somehow rolls over the top for another Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. Kendall Staple with 4 service aces. Looking for another, and doesn't quite get it. The Mustangs keep it alive and pass it up. It skipped off the ceiling, so that's a dead ball. Rebel point, 18-4. Rich leads. Serve, receive, shanked off to the side. 19-4 Rich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 14 is 22. Staple serves again, passed to Clegg. Cornea receives. After Clegg hit it, Wallenton cracks it to the back line. Bear Lake Realty kill for AWOL. Rich leads 20-4. Rebels against Tabiona in 2008 had 25 aces. That's about 7th all time. 28 aces against Whitehorse in 2009. 23 or more would put Rich on this list of service aces in a match. The Rebels are at 22. Staple serves down the line. Clegg's pass up at the net. There's number 23, Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. And the Rebels are tied with Tabiona's match in 1998 versus Meridian. The Tigers had 23 service aces. Staple looking to make it 24. Pass high up to the ceiling. Walters passes. It's hit over and too long and out. 22-4. Rich leads. Two teams had 23 service aces. Skyline against Pleasant Grove in 06, and as I mentioned, Tabiona against Meridian in 98. Staples served, shanked off to the side, kept alive and passed over by Mosley. Then the Rebels can't handle that one. Back to the wall, 22-5. Mustangs get a side out. Annie Peart and Brittany Lamborn will check into the match. Sydney Hatch gets a breather, and Allie Wallenton will take a breather as well as Cannell Browning checks in to serve. It's the Rich County Government third set. Rebels took the first two, 25-12 and 25-4. Browning serve, dug by Staple. The receive off to the side, 22-6. Mustangs continue to battle. Mackenzie Smith will check in for McKenna Stacy. It's not unusual to see these players on the court in a varsity match. These players have helped contribute to every Rebel victory this season. Service error by Browning puts Rich up 23-6. Rebels are tied for top 10 all times for aces in a match with today's 23 unofficially. That's my number. Ellie Brown, service right side. It's an overpass. Rebels dig. Cornea high and outside to Peart. She runs, slaps it back across her body, and the Mustangs dig it up. They'll tap it right back, and Rich right back over to Manila. Rebels set it up for Brittany Lamborn. Her hit dug the wrong direction by Brown. 24-6, Bear Lake Realty kill for Brittany Lamborn, and the Rebels have set at match point at 24-6. Eliana Brown serving. Clegg receives. Set high and in the middle for Clegg. Hit, epic recreation, block ends it. 25-6, Rebels win in 3 straight against the Manila Mustangs. And Rich improves to 4-4 on this young season. This third set has been brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. I had Rich with 23 service aces in the match, which ties a top 10 state record for aces in a match. We'll tell you more about it on our post-game show brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. It includes the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by CAD Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at CAD Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Go Rich Rebels!
Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, are proud to support the Rich High Rebels in creating their own path and leaving a trail of success in athletics and in activities, in education and in life. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the Rich Rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the Rich Rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Welcome to the Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. It's time for the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Following Thursday night's emotional win over the Bear Lake Bears, a 3-2 victory for Rich against Bear Lake on Thursday night in the Bear Lake rivalry. Rebels returned home to host the Manila Mustangs in Region 22's season opener. And early on, it looked like it would be a close match. The Mustangs had a 2-1 lead in the first set. J.C. Cornea came in, served a couple of aces, and Rich took a lead. Manila battled back. It was tied at 10 midway through the first set. From that point on, it was all Rebels. In fact, let me do some quick math here. From that point on, Rich outscored Manila 65-12 en route to a 25-12 first set victory, 25-4 second set victory, and 25-6 third set victory. The Rebels sweep in 3 straight. Rich finished with 23 aces in that 3-set match, which ties a top 10 state record for aces in a match at 23. 2 other teams, Tabiona in 1998 and Skyline against Pleasant Grove in 2006 both had 23 service aces. That number unofficial from me, the stats that I kept, but I had J.C. Cornea 5 aces in the first set, McKenna Stacy 5 aces in the second set, Kendall Staple had, gee whiz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aces in the third set. It was a night of aces for the Rebels and a victory in 3 straight sets over the Manila Mustangs. That's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's, where they spend 6 hours daily slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second taste of heaven, your sandwich at 113 Front Street in Evanston. Stay tuned on the Mount Valley Cattle Company postgame show. We've got the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital postgame highlights and stats and the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
As the hospital closest to Bear Lake, professional medical care is always available at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. As a full-service hospital, Bear Lake Memorial offers an emergency room that's open 24/7. They treat patients of all ages. Other professional services include physicians' clinics, assisted living, home health services, counseling, dialysis, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, orthopedic care, and skilled nursing. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
Back on the Mount Valley Cattle Company post-game show, brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. A 3-0 victory for the Rich Rebels. No trouble with the Manila Mustangs tonight. Early on, Manila kept it close. It was 10-10 in the first set, but from that point on, Rich outscored Manila 65-12 and dominated, especially in sets 2 and 3, 25-4 and 25-6. I had Rich finishing with 23 aces and just 1 service error. Manila, just 5 service errors. Normally that's a good number, but no aces, and they were just served right out of the gym tonight. Rebels also hit well tonight, which was something Coach Lamborn wanted to see them do. These are some postgame highlights and stats brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Again, 23 service aces. If that number is correct, that puts Rich tied for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th place all time for service aces in a match. 2 other teams have 23. The number 1 is 34 service aces in a match. Snow Canyon had in 2009 against Canyon View. Rich has 2 spots in that top 10, 28 aces against Whitehorse in 2009 and 25 aces against Tabiona in 2008. But 23 here tonight. Oof, that was amazing, and it was funny because you had different players stepping up in different sets and aces from just about everybody. But the first set belonged to J.C. Cornea, 5 service aces in that first set. The second set was McKenna Stacy. She had 5 service aces in the second set, including leading the Rebels in a 10-1 run to finish off set number 2, 25-4. And then Kendall Staple had 6 service aces in set 3. And, boy, just an absolute domination. I've rarely seen the Rebels dominate as much as they did tonight, especially in sets 2 and 3 where they outscored Manila 50-10. These are your Mount Valley Cattle Company post-game highlights and stats. And as part of that, we give the precision play of the game. Brought to you by McKay Frankham Dental Services. McKay Frankham Dental Care at reasonable rates for the whole family. And rather than point to one play, because we did have a lot of nice comprehensive family dental digs and epic recreation blocks, it was a good night. A lot of Bear Lake Realty kills, but I think the precision play of the game is the serve. For Rich tonight, 23 service aces. That's your precision play of the game. Brought to you by McKay Frankham Dental Services at 170 Arrowhead Drive in Evanston. So there's your precision play of the game. These postgame highlights and stats have been brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. One more quick break on the Mount Valley Cattle Company postgame show, and we'll take a look at the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar right here on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care. When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes good sense to work with a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Western Ag Credit is an independent cooperative owned by the farmers and ranchers who borrow from it. With competitive rates, your loan is tailored to match your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating expenses. When it comes to farming and ranching financing, Western Ag Credit in Evanston is your partner in agriculture. Back on the Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show, just confirmed the Rebel statistics had Rich at 23 service aces as well. So an historic match tonight as far as service aces go. That ties a state record. Skyline and Tabiona and Rich, 23 service aces in a match. That's number 10 all time in the state history books. The post-game show continues with the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. And for that, we move to this. Western Ag Credit, your partner in agriculture, a lender who understands finance and agriculture. They're doing a food drive going on now, and Western Ag Credit will match 50 cents per pound of anything donated. So donate some food now. Western Ag Credit will match and help feed those who have a little trouble feeding themselves. A good way to give and help out. Looking ahead at tomorrow, when things get back in action, the Rich High School cross-country team, Rebel Boys, will be at Soda Springs for a cross-country meet. Middle school volleyball and football gets underway tomorrow as the Royals volleyball team and football team are at Mountain View Jamboree. Volleyball matches start at 8 a.m. and football games start at 9 a.m. tomorrow in Mountain View. And tomorrow, the Rich Rodeo Club continues at the Panguitch Rodeo. They're there today, and they continue tomorrow at the Panguitch Rodeo number 2, beginning at 9 a.m. Looking ahead to next Thursday, Rich High School volleyball, and the Rebels host the Duchesne Eagles next Thursday night. Freshmen at 4, JV at 5:15, and the varsity at 6:30. Our pregame will start off at 6 o'clock next Thursday night. In fact, that's our next Rebel broadcast. Rich Rebel football team plays against Star Valley next Thursday afternoon at 5:30. That's at Star Valley. And the volleyball team, the Royals volleyball team, is at Star Valley. Then looking at next Friday, Rebel football is at Gunnison Valley. Our pregame starts at 6:15 with a JV game at 4 and the varsity at 7. Rich Rodeo Club next week. The Rodeo Club members have their choice to go to the Sevier Rodeo and or the Emory Rodeo. Both begin on Friday at 3 and Saturday at 9 a.m. Also next Saturday, September 14th, the Royals volleyball team is at Kemmer at 9 a.m. and the Royals football team takes on Big Piney at home. There's a 7th and 8th grade games beginning at 10 a.m. Also should mention on the Roundup calendar, a couple of items I failed to add to that calendar. The Wyoming Cowboys get back at it. Hot off their win over Mizzou last week. The Cowboys travel to San Marcos to take on Texas State University at Bobcat Stadium. Our pregame on KADQ starts tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Tune in live. You can also catch the University of Wyoming Coaches Show with Coach Craig Bull every Wednesday evening on KADQ at 7:07 p.m. Again, don't miss our next Rebel broadcast Thursday when the Rebels host the Duchesne Eagles. Thursday night. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. on September 12th. Well, that's going to do it for our Roundup calendar brought to you by Western Ag Credit, your partner in agriculture at 848 Front Street in Evanston. Give them a call at 307-789-9420. Western Ag Credit is a lender who understands finance and agriculture. That wraps up our post-game highlights and stats, our post-game show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen, out of Thatcher, Idaho. For tonight's videographer, Gary McKee, our producer, Preston Bush, back in the studio. I'm Ryan STEINECKERT. We'll talk with you again soon.